From 4 News Now, with live updates throughout the day, breaking news as it happens, and weather every 10 minutes. This is KXLY Plus.
Good morning. For 4 News Now, I am Rob King. Coming up next week in Spokane, the hit musical ABBA is coming to town, the hit musical Mamma Mia with music from the band ABBA coming to town, First Interstate Center for the Arts. It's going to be 8 performances, June 17th through the 22nd. Joining me to talk a little bit more about it, one of the actors of that show, Victor Wallace, who plays Sam Carmichael. Victor, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for doing this. I just want to talk a little bit about you and about the show. And why don't you just start with how's the tour going?
The tour is going great. It's been just under 2 years that we've done this particular 25th anniversary national tour of Mamma Mia, and we're also getting ready to go back to New York City. So that's very exciting.
Awesome. And do you enjoy the road when you're out on it?
I do. I mean, there are challenges, but it is a wonderful way to see our country, see places that I probably normally wouldn't go to on my own. But you discover so many different places in this great little country of ours.
What kind of places have surprised you when you've been to and you're like, I've never even heard of that city? And then you got there and you're like, whoa, this is pretty rad.
I mean, there are some smaller little cities you would never know. I don't know. Lincoln, Nebraska is charming, and I mean, we've gone through the South. I mean, I actually can't even think of how many cities we've gone to. It's been several.
So how long have you been doing the show?
This show, I've had a relationship with this show for the past 20 some years. The first time I did Mamma Mia was when they had their first sit down production in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay Casino. And I played the younger role, Sky. So I've kind of grown up with this show. I certainly haven't done the show the entire 20 some years, but I've come back, and it's such a great show to be a part of, and the creative team, they've brought me back, and it's really been kind of a special show in my life and in my career.
Well, what's that been like to have one role, see one perspective of a performance, and then translate it or take something from it to another performance as you grow as an actor and in a different role but in the same show? What's that like?
Yeah, I definitely, it's funny. I think I certainly, as Sky, I was younger, and I clearly had that to bring to that young role. A young guy who was about to get married, and now fast forward 20 some years later, I'm playing one of the dad roles, and I definitely have a different perspective on life and what, the challenges of life have brought me from my point of view. And I definitely bring different experiences to the same show, things I wouldn't have known when I was younger. So.
Do you find yourself wanting to give advice to another actor, the person playing Sky now?
I find myself. The funny thing is, that whenever I'm speaking to some of the actors that play Sky, it's funny how I start to talk about, well, when I was younger.
But then nobody wants to be that guy.
No, exactly. And I hear myself say that. And I'm, no, let's cut that off.
So I know you have, or I was told you have previous Broadway experience. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, actually, Mamma Mia was my Broadway debut.
Oh, wow.
When I believe I joined the show in the ensemble in 2012, and it was at the Winter Garden Theater at that time. And then we transferred to the Broadhurst Theater in New York, and I stayed with the show until it closed in 2015, and I did close as Sam Carmichael in that production. So I'm thrilled that I get to go back to New York and play this role again. And I do feel like I've with life experience, I do feel like I have grown a lot with this role. So it's special to me.
Oh, it's got to be extremely personal too, and the character of Sam growing and you growing. How do you find the kind of pros and cons of doing it on the road versus doing it in one theater for a run? How does that? What do you get out of it differently?
The challenge of the road is typically like a theater schedule. You're dark on Monday nights, so we usually stay in a city for a week, and so our travel day is Monday. So Monday is our day off and travel day. So that it's a challenge to reset every week to do another week of 8 shows. But the great thing about touring is that each city, kind of audience-wise, they have such drastic personalities, which is fun to discover. Some cities are quiet and conservative. You can tell they're still having fun, but they're not quite as rowdy and vocal. And then there's those cities that are just, they get really into it. And it definitely is fun. It definitely is fun.
Oh, I can imagine. And then you gotta think, I would imagine that people going to the tour would want to have more fun maybe than people who are going, the audiences of the Broadway show in New York, where maybe they're just in town visiting and want to go see a show. Do you find that there's kind of different energies from those tour audiences?
Definitely. But like I said, like each city, it brings like different, it's really hard to describe, but audiences have different personalities. And, New York is interesting too, because it's such a transient audience as well, because it is a lot of tourists, but yet a lot of locals, people that are, the thing with Mamma Mia is that it brings in such a broad type of audience.
Sure.
People that don't usually go to theater come see Mamma Mia, and then you have those people that are hardcore theater lovers come to see it. So it's kind of a phenomena in that sense.
You might be one of the most qualified people to speak on this. Can someone be burnt out on ABBA music?
If there were one person, it would be me that would be burned out on ABBA music. But there's something crazy about their music that I feel like, and I'm not lying, I never like hear their music and like, oh, not this again. There's something joyous in their music writing. Their tunes are always, they're so hummable, but yet if you really break down all the harmonies and their music is actually very layered and very like exciting. ABBA really, it's great music. And so to answer your question, no, I don't get burned out on hearing music from ABBA.
Then I think if you don't, then I think it's impossible for anybody to at that point.
Right, and I think people who poo-poo it are they're just being they're being too cool,
Yeah, some people think they're too good for pop music.
Yeah.
But it's called pop because it's popular.
Absolutely.
And that's part of the fun. Well, Victor, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to add before I let you go?
I want to encourage anybody who hasn't seen Mamma Mia on stage yet. This is your chance, because it's such a great experience. So many people know it because of the movies, but it's a whole different experience live in the theater, and it's a special theater moment. I think that shouldn't be missed.
Right on. Victor Wallace, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
You bet.
And you can catch Mamma Mia at First Interstate Center for the Arts June 17th through the 22nd. Tickets are on sale now. You can find the link to get that on kxly.com. But for now, live in studio, I'm Rob King for 4 News Now.